Well, from the old pump, we're going to need the flange, and I've got it an arrow mark to the front. And we're going to need the gasket. I didn't buy it. This as a new one I didn't change it when I put in this this new little pump. Where is it? Down here. So, and I was trying to figure out how in the hell does the thing come off, but it's slides down over the mechanism here. Make sure you don't screw up this little guy. So this is going to be an experiment later on. So let me go get the new one out. Surprising, this one's got a blue and a green dot too. I don't know. Okay, we slide the new one. Make sure the little titty projections are up on this, and delicately I just squeeze it together. I think maybe I did this way last time. Yes, that's the way. I went over the arm first, and then I didn't squeeze it, and then up. And then these little projections go through the smaller holes here on both sides. And this one has a projection, let me see, so that's got to be front. Just by looking at the orientation for the way these things are, this has got to be the front. So okay, and this goes in here over the top. And let's go ahead and set this in. Okay, it goes in like this, and around and down, and then slowly like that. And then it lines up just like that. Just like I knew what I'm doing. Well, I've done it once, so I guess I know what I'm doing. Let me get the bolts. Ah, they're right here. I got to find what the torque is. I think they're 4 Newton meters, but I'll check again. And I got to change out. These are 8 millimeter, or yeah, 8 millimeter heads. And this is one of those things where you're gonna. Well, let's tighten them down by hand first, and go crosswise. You want to squeeze the gasket down evenly. Okay. The gasket should be evenly down. Not much more than hand tight. I'm going to hold off on attaching this to this guy. I'm going to put my pressure gauge on it. See what it is. I'll probably go ahead and put some more of the paneling on before I get around to that part too. I want to get the overflow and all that in. So, okay. Before I get this bottom thing in place, I wanted to show you I was getting some. I don't know if you can see the rubbing in here from the emergency brake cable. It hadn't gone all the way through, but I went and put some padding on it, and then some electrical tape, and then I covered the end, wrapped it around itself, and then came back to the starting point and put this little wire tie on it to keep it from coming undone. But just a little bit of protection. So if you do this, take a look in there and see if yours is wearing. You might be able to see it from underneath, but it'd be hell to get your hands in there. So Next comes the storage box. And it is a big pain in the patootie to get your cables. I don't know if you can see those. There's a big opening up here, and that's where the fuel line and the power to the fuel pump go through. And you got to get your seat release mechanism in place. Slide all of this crap down. Okay. Let me cuss off camera. And the problem I was rushing it, you got to get the seat mechanism. No. I got to take this off again. Well, the hinge over here is kind of a sloppy fit, and it got knocked around, and one of the things was hooked into the latch mechanism. So kind of got to take it a little bit at a time. Okay. Get your vent hose out of the way. And what else have I got? Got the cables here. There's two little tabs back in here. You can't see them. That rest on the aluminum cross frame here, and it was didn't want to go down, so I had to bend the back part, this little tail piece up, and then it slipped down. Also, I had the this thing here was in the wrong spot. I had it inside. It's supposed to be outside, so it's correct for the overflow drain. And so these guys are in the right spot, and I got the seat latch mechanism in place too. So let me go ahead and reassemble all the bolts. There's a whole bunch of them that go in here in various places. And remember, these are aluminum frames, so we'll put a little bit of anti-seize on the threads. I'll go ahead and tighten those down. They're probably another 10 Newton meters. I want to show you something on the other side that needs to be put back in place. And all these here, you're going to need a long one to get down into the bottom one. And then these guys up here on the seat latches are 7 Newton meters. And these little 8 millimeters down in the front, I'll have to go check on those again. But you want to keep an eye on these. These two little bolts up here are different, and they go right here on the nose end. And you've got the overflow tip over valve. It's an air vent, but in case you tip over, it stops the flow of gasoline coming out. And this screw I left in place, or I put back in place. Always wondering, where it may go. And then the hose goes in this trough right in here. You got to put it in place, and it goes right underneath the, above the seat latch release mechanism here. And then this guy goes on top and wiggles down. Now here's another little ass scratcher. It's the plug that goes to the light in the trunk, and it comes with this little thing here, and then it goes over the plug to keep it from wiggling around. Next thing that goes on is going to be the tail piece of your license plate and your rear light, and you want to be able to hook up the tail light, and the two wires are different lengths, and they match up with two wires that are different lengths that are just bullet plugs. But be sure you have all the slack out of here, because it should be met up in the middle. And it doesn't hurt to clean it. You know what I mean? Clean off everything that's in here. I mean, a lot of this stuff may never see the light of day again, for me anyway. I don't know. But I'm gonna go ahead and put this in. There's been enough of this already on when I took the fuel pump out. But let me go ahead and put this back in together. Well, it seems like a lot of work, and it is. It's 4:30 now. I started about 1:30 putting the thermostat in. I mean, you got to disassemble everything, and like I alluded to earlier, you got to do all of this stuff, even the fuel tank and everything, to get down into where you can work on the throttle bodies, and then you got to pull out all of the cooling system down below, the radiator and everything, just to get in to get the valve cover off. And then you're going to probably have to take the tank out anyway in case you have to do anything with the timing chain, because the tensioner, remember, was right there next to the thermostat off to the left hand side of the machine. So it's back together. The only thing, all my bags were empty of screws. The only one I had to think twice about was putting this tank cover back on. There's one underneath in here that I forgot, so I had to pull these yellow side panels off or away from the front to get the screws in behind there. So that was the only thing that I'd forgotten. So now I'm going to, well, it's too late in the day to do anymore, but there's a couple checks I want to do with my meter. One was on the thermal switch or sensor, the air temperature coming in is here on the back of the box under by the air filter cover, and the other one is the not vacuum pressure, throttle body pressure sensor, and that one I needed to get most of the scoop back together. It's exposed here. I can get to it, and I wanted to be able to get the scoot back into this position in case I wanted to start it up or whatever. So I don't know. I imagine it. Well, there's no gas in it, and the fuel line's not hooked up, so it's not going to start. So we'll come back with putting some distilled water, and we'll run it. I'll put some gas in it. I want to check the pressure with my pressure gauge on this new pump. There's something, and then I'll when I show you the pressure gauge, then we'll know. I'll go off in a little sidebar on how it stacks up with the OEM original one, the one I replaced this last time, just the pump motor itself, and then this new OEM replacement package. So we'll come back.